welcome to the show. Now, it's a season of projections and polls everywhere, online and offline. Well, the Atiku presidential campaign organization has boasted that the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, will win the poll in the first ballot. In a statement from the campaign organization, the team boasts that the election results will surprise Nigerians as they claim that Atiku enjoys the support of majority of Nigerians across board due to his proven capacity, competence and political goodwill. But this is coming on a date that reports say the 5 aggrieved PDP governors are meeting in London to finalize their plans to dump Atiku for either the Labour Party's Peter Obi or the APC's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And what's the source of Atiku's confidence? All right, so what's the source of the confidence by the Atiku Okowa campaign organization that their candidate will emerge victorious during the first ballot? Well, to answer that question, I'm being joined in studio by the Special Assistant on Public Communication to the Atiku Okowa campaign organization, Mr. Phrank Shaibu. So good to have you here.
Yeah,
yeah. And so let's take a look at some of these projections. And analysts are saying that for the first time in Nigeria's political history, we are going to have a situation whereby it's difficult for someone to emerge during the first ballot. And you are doubting it. You've put out a statement and insisting that, look, Atiku will actually surprise Nigerians. What's the surprise? And what's the source of confidence that your team is having?
The source of confidence is clear and unambiguous, clear as the Northern Star, because it's evident that the leading political parties in this race, the PDP, the APC, and our brother Peter Obi in the Labour Party, he's not doing badly. But the issue is this. On the scale of, if you place the 3 candidates on the scale of rectitude, Atiku towards higher. You know, in the last couple of weeks, he's been able to get in touch with voters in over 15 states in Nigeria. We rounded off our campaign with Katsina. I was there myself. You needed to see the kind of crowd we got, not just in the stadium.
That's the president's home state.
Yeah, the president's home state. In fact, the one that shocked me the most was when we visited Daura, the president's village, the president's hometown. And at the palace of the Emir of Daura, there was a big banner there of Atiku's banner, you know, well guarded by palace guards. That's how I would say. So you see, Atiku is everywhere. The people are aware that in terms of competence, in terms of capacity, in terms of leadership quality, he's the right material for now, for Nigeria, and he's the person who's got the capacity to recover and restore peace in our land. Because first off, what Nigerians need is peace, and without peace, you cannot embark on any developmental project. So if you look at the main opposition party that is supposed to be the government in power, their candidate, you should know. The people know that their candidate has exhibited incompetence. Their candidate has
so
exhibited.
You're calling the governing party the main opposition party?
Yeah, they are in the opposition as it is. Well, because their candidate. You see,
I think Bola Tinubu and his APC will just be laughing at you. Do you know what it means to be in power in Nigeria? To have federal might.
No, I will put it.
Have governors.
I'll tell you something.
Who delivered him during the primaries, and they are all out here to back him during the polls.
I thank God you said the governors delivered him during the primaries. The beautiful thing here is about the mass of our people who have been hungry in the last 7.5 years, who have been impoverished in the last 7.5 years, who have suffered, who have been in pains in the last 7.5 years, who have been in tears, you understand, and who have buried their loved ones in the last 7.5 years. So are these people ready to mortgage their future for another APC administration? The answer is no. And you see, banking on these 10 words of President Muhammadu Buhari, who is not on the ballot this time round. He has said, look, I want a free and fair, I want to leave a legacy of a free and fair election. I was excited when President Muhammadu Buhari, His Excellency, turned 80, in power. And I said, this is a good omen. A man at 80, he has said he's a man of his words. I know very well that. And
suddenly the PDP is romancing President Buhari because of his statement.
No, we are not romancing him.
Isn't it linked with what Nyesom Wike had said? That what? Somebody in the presidential villa had promised Atiku Abubakar something in 2023.
You see, the truth is this, the truth is that I do not bandy words with people who make garrulous comments without proof. when you keep saying, oh, somebody told me. You see, the office of a governor, is an exalted office that should not be reduced to such pettiness. Or somebody told me, I heard somebody offered you a bribe. If you talk, I will expose. No. You see, there is a language that befits the status of the office of a governor, and there's a language of area boys. So there are certain comments that I would not want to react to. The truth of the matter is that President Muhammadu Buhari, who is President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has promised that, look, the 2023 election, not just back home here, even internationally, he was in the US recently, and he made a commitment, you understand, to many international bodies that, look, I want to leave a legacy of a free and fair election. And he has proven that. How did we know? A lot of persons, a lot of players in this election, particularly in the opposition party, the APC. I call them the opposition.
Well,
you ask me why I call them.
Party.
No, you should ask me why I call them the party in opposition.
I've done that.
Their candidate has never campaigned with the achievements of this administration. Instead, all he does is he takes us back to a Lagos he built and how he single-handedly made President Muhammadu Buhari. And I begin to ask questions. That same Lagos which he calls his own, and the same Lagos he claims he built, will be his biggest albatross. Because the truth is this. This is a man who ordinarily became a sole administrator of a state in the last 20 years, where every governor that has passed through that state, you understand, appears more like an errand boy to him. Apart from...
but the votes are determined by the electorate.
The people are aware. He has shown that he is not physically fit, mentally fit, because I keep telling people.
And yet he's been going around the country,
I don't understand.
meeting lots of people, campaigning, even to some states where your candidate hasn't been to.
You see, I don't understand what you mean by going around the states. I'll tell you something. It's just like when I was on a TV show recently, when somebody asked me, oh, you guys in PDP keep talking about the gaffes being made by the presidential candidate of the APC. But Atiku made a similar gaffe in Jos. And I said, no, they are two separate things. One was a slip of the tongue. The other is consistent, it is perennial, it is habitual. Are you with me? And what does it do? You see, as a speech pathologist, I tell people, for free, I tell the APC for free. All they need to do is to bring their candidate to me, for free. I would assist him because he needs what I call a therapy.
Well,
because
so
there is a disconnect.
You're actually a speech therapist,
yes,
who's offering a service to the APC presidential candidate. But now let's just come back, Frank, to the projections. I'm worried that you are not worried about the projection for a state like Kano. I mean, when Tinubu is getting 30% there, Atiku is doing 20% based on the THISDAY projection, and Kwankwaso is doing 40%. And knowing the quantum of votes that come from Kano State, shouldn't you be worried?
We are not worried. As it stands by the grace of the Almighty and with what we have done so far, it's just like taking us to the THISDAY projections made. I'll take you, while you are talking about Kano, let me take you to some of the projections in Tinubu Southwest, for instance. In Ondo State, you recall vividly that we scored 275,000 votes in Ondo State. 275,901 votes in 2019 against President Muhammadu Buhari with a sitting APC governor in that state. When Muhammadu Buhari got about 241,769 votes. Now, in this election, the projection gave us 60%. These are traditional PDP states. We will beat Tinubu in Ondo. We will not just talk about 25%. We're going to beat him in Ondo. We're going to beat him in Osun. Then we pick our 25% in Ogun. Go to Ekiti to pick 25%. In Ekiti, we would have beaten them in the governorship election in Ekiti. Based on the new beavers and the new policy of INEC as approved by President Muhammadu Buhari and well funded by this administration.
Which is your source of confidence?
Yes, that's our source of confidence, because with that, those who believe in bullion for politics, they are in crisis already. Because
haven't you seen that the APC, the Labour Party, the NMPP all going around seeking the votes because of the same confidence that you're banking on?
No, they are not seeking the votes. You can talk of NMPP, you can talk of the Labour Party. You understand me? But if you talk of the APC, since June that he became candidate of his party, he has not shared the stage with any of the candidates. That is a man who wants a job, who wants an automatic employment without a job interview.
And that's
so
because
he does not want to be.
they keep accusing your presidential candidate and these other two other presidential candidates of being almost the same members of the same party in the last election, 2019.
You see,
and so, I mean, based on what some of them have been saying, it's an extension. The NMPP is an extension of PDP. Labour Party is an extension of PDP, and all of that. I mean, that's what they keep saying.
They may as well say that even the APC is an extension of the PDP. Because I remember vividly that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the candidate of the APC today, lured, begged, grovelled, pleaded with Atiku Abubakar to become the candidate of the ACN.
That was in 2007.
You are aware of that. So what happens? So if you divorce that relationship, you see, some persons want to be clever by half. That Peter Obi was a vice presidential candidate of the PDP in 2019, does not foreclose the fact that he cannot aspire under another political party. Between the Peter Obi and the Bola Tinubu, I will pick a Peter Obi any day, anytime. In terms of competence, he's more competent. This one is not well. He knows he is not well.
Well, a medical doctor hasn't certified that.
Now, as I put it to you, we're talking about the projections.
Yes,
so that we don't digress.
Debate. I mean, I wanted to take you back to
that.
So
that we don't digress. I took you to Ondo. Your projections put us at 20%. And giving Bola Ahmed Tinubu about 40%.
About 40,
40 or 45%.
Yeah, about 45%.
And I say that is a vituperation of zero consequence.
Yeah.
Because it cannot stand. We know very clearly that the people of Ondo are traditionally PDP. And they will vote for us. Because they know that, you see, the truth
it looks like the former PDP strongholds have also, from these projections, been lost to the Labour Party in some states. Look at the southeast, for example. Look at some parts of the southwest, and even the middle belt. Looks like the PDP is losing ground in the middle belt. Shouldn't that be a cause of worry, considering the results in 2019 and 2015?
Let me borrow the words of my brother Daniel Bwala. The Labour Party is like Andrew's liver salt. You know, effervescence. When effervescence takes place, it must settle. When the stage is set, water will find its level naturally.
And so where would the water find its level?
Let me tell you something. I remember when I was in Lagos, after university, I started my life in Lagos. And I used to teach in a tutorial college at that time. I used to teach the English language. And one day, one of my colleagues said, come, are we going to walk to the next tutorial college for our classes? He said, yes. I said, why? We need to take a taxi. He said, no, why waste money? He now said, Lagos is not for small boys. It's for taxable adults. The presidential, the office of president is not for babies and political neophytes. It's an exalted office. It is not where you ask for a stadium. Why you ask for a stadium and bring canopies and put at the center of the stadium when you are not conducting a naming ceremony or a burial?
Well, that's because the Labour Party says it's not hiring crowds.
No.
Allegedly, like the PDP, the way the PDP and the APC does. That's what they are saying. That the bigger political parties are hiring crowds, and they are not doing that. Their focus is on the polling units.
With profound respect to you. When it was about hiring crowd, about 2 million man march, about amplifying figures, we did a 2 million man march, we did a 10 million man march and all that. The crowd were there. Now we have come to the real game, the real politics. Are you with me? At least, fantastically, I think I can share a video with you some time ago when they held a rally and we saw people scrambling and fighting because they didn't get what was given to them by the same Labour Party. With people donning the attire of Labour Party. I don't want to go into that because Peter is a friend and a brother. You understand me? We love him. He should keep doing a good job.
Should Atiku be seeking an alliance with him? I mean, considering some of these projections that are coming up. Because if we look at this day projection, the votes coming for the NMPP and the Labour Party, if we are to roll back to 2019, would have gone to the PDP.
That's why I said water will find its level naturally. Water will find its level. The traditional PDP states will vote for us.
You think
so? Undecided. Let me tell you something. The undecided.
When states like the Middle Belt.
Which of the states like the Middle Belt?
Look at Benue, for example.
Let me give you an example.
Let
me give you an example. The people will separate the wheat from the chaff. When you have leaders who, when it gets to 20th day of the month, they begin to shout and tell you that herdsmen have attacked their place because they don't want to pay salaries. You think the people will listen to them? Let me tell you something. Atiku Abubakar is like an elephant in this race. And whether an elephant walks on thorns, it does not limp. An elephant does not limp if he's walking on thorns. Do you understand me? So the beautiful thing here is this. Whether the cock crows or not, the sun must rise. So when you're talking about the Middle Belt states, where are the Middle Belt states? Is it in Kogi State, where Governor Yaya Bello, one of the youngest governors in Nigeria, who aspired for the ticket of the APC, contested. And he came with an agenda when he was running that, flying that ticket in the beginning. He said, look, the Middle Belt, the North Central states, have not been able to produce a president in this country. Why people are talking about marginalization? That the North Central is marginalized.
So you think he will support an Atiku? Is that what you're saying?
Just hold on. You see, when the chips are down, he has sold that he has convinced our people that, look, this thing should be about our people, about North Central. Do you understand me? And we know too the actions of, you see, these are underpinnings some of you don't know. We know too that when Yaya Bello was going to become governor, after the death of His Excellency Late Abubakar Audu, former governor, whom I worked with as well, I'm from Kogi State, he fronted James Faleke. He wanted him because he was running mate of Abubakar Audu. He wanted him against all the rules in the land and everything to replace Abubakar Audu. But the laws did not favor that and all that. That animosity is still there. Now you wake up one day, pick my own governor, a former presidential candidate. You say is the youth leader of the youth.
Is that the reason why we haven't been seeing Yaya Bello?
Have you seen him any of their campaign rallies? Well, have you seen Rotimi Amechi? You understand? Even when the president,
yeah, but even if we haven't seen them, are they working for Atiku? I mean, that's also the question.
That you see,
because they could also be working for someone else
with profound
rather than Atiku.
With profound respect, our strategy is close to our chests. You understand? You see, sometimes we tactically withdraw so that we can strategically advance.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about a state like Plateau State, for example.
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, a lot of people are beginning to push Peter Obi into the projection there. Lots of people are beginning to come together to say, look, it looks like Plateau may not actually go for APC or PDP. And this projection is showing that something is happening there.
But the truth is that's why I said that what I was so fine is level. My dear Peter is already showing signs of incompetence. Because the office of president, like I said, is not for babies. First off, he appointed the director general of his campaign who had a criminal case hanging on his neck without due diligence. Now he woke up again. After the young man resigned, after the public embarrassment, he woke up again and appointed the senatorial candidate of another political party. Well, you see, we're talking of hold on.
Not be a young man in this instance.
No, with profound respect. With profound respect. What that shows to us, to Nigerians, including his supporters, they are embarrassed, including his supporters, is that look, he is incompetent, he is unorganized. Are you with me? And he does not even know how to hunt for the right person.
That's to the PDP, but to Nigerians who want a change, who are asking for something new, they seem to be embracing him and saying that the likes of Atiku and Tinubu are of the old school.
You see, age is not a parameter for measuring capability. Age is not a parameter for measuring capability.
And you think Nigerians will embrace Atiku?
A man who is dumb and dull is dumb and dull. A man who does not have communicative competence, for instance, who will climb the podium and talk about blah blah blue and all that, and talk about, let's say, I'll turn a rotten situation into a bad one. Nigerians can see this is not 2015. But this is not 1983.
Aren't you underrating some of this your opponents, Phrank Shaibu? It looks like the Atiku camp is so excited with some of these projections.
You know why we're excited?
Okay,
we're excited because these projections only help us to do more. We know what the right statistics are.
And you think you will go into a runoff?
You see, pollsters rely on I don't know the parameters they used in this poll, for instance. And that's why we keep telling pollsters, when you release a poll results, you understand me, come up with the parameters. How did you go about it? How did you arrive at this conclusion?
Well, this one is actually a projection and not a poll.
And you see, this projection reminds me of the CNN projection, which is almost near accurate. Do you understand me? But the baffling thing, and that was what shocked even a majority of us, When a day after the projection, for instance, when you now juxtapose it and place it side by side with the Labour Party rally, for instance, in Port Harcourt, a place that was projected for P2B to score XYZ number of votes, I think 30 or 40% of the votes, where one of our governors, Mr. Wike, had said he was going to provide logistic. In fact, he will even pronounce the logistic as if it were a heavy machinery. That does not matter. Whether it comes in quantum or in pieces or in parts, it doesn't matter. But I keep telling him, I say, my dear governor, all you would have done was to give him one small hall in that place to conduct a town hall meeting.
So you think the stadium was too big?
It was too big for him, even when he brought superstars to that place. So now the issue is this. You see, Nigerians are a very deliberate set of people. You see, and I keep telling people that the 2023 election is going to be a referendum of the last 7.5 years in this country.
Not only that, it will also be a referendum on the entire polity from 1999.
And that is why you see,
especially by undecided voters. Many people who
see,
have been apolitical, but they think that their lives have been toyed with by both the APC and the PDP in
not
the past.
Just by Nigerians, by our leaders. That is why, let me tell you something. That is why even the media, include with you inclusive, should be at the forefront in the condemnation of conduct by certain characters to derail the political process. I'll give you an example. A situation where a governor wakes up in the morning and says, look, before any political party can come to campaign in my state, he must pay 5 million naira. That law is not only obnoxious, it is repugnant, it is an affront on our sensibilities as a people. The reason is this. Most people don't even know what is campaign. Campaign is not just about paying 5 million to campaign in the state capital. Some of us take our campaigns word by word. So if PDP decides to go to 300 wards in a state, it means you have to pay 5 million naira multiplied by 300. That is what it means. Okay. It is criminal. Wow. It is tendenciously wicked. And these are persons who nobody set those rules for them, even when.
Okay, so it's been affecting the PDP. That's what you're saying, and other political parties. Okay, I should try to round off this conversation, Frank, because we don't have enough time. Out of these 6 geopolitical zones, I want you to tell me how many you think Atiku will have to be able to emerge, in quotes, winner during the first ballot, like you have been saying.
Not like we have said, like as it is, I'll tell you, and you can take it to the bank. Are you with me? You know, my people say, we have a proverb in Igala language. They say, if you see a snake, it cannot bite you anymore. So that's why each time you mention the G5 governors, I just laugh. Because we have seen the snake. Yeah, it cannot bite us.
Just tell us how many out of these 6 geopolitical zones
we will win. We will get 25% in more than the required 24 states. Are you with me? We will get that.
More than the THISDAY projection.
Of course, we will get more than it. That's why I just told you that THISDAY projection did not give us Ondo, for instance. You understand me? A majority of people in Ondo State, for instance, are lettered and certificated. They are not idiots.
So how many out of the 6 geopolitical zones
this they gave us 21. But I'm telling you that we will get over 25. We will get 25% more than 25.
That's on state-by-state basis. But I'm saying that in terms of geopolitical zones, because for you to emerge president of Nigeria, you need at least 4 out of the 6 geopolitical zones.
We will get majority votes. And we will get the required 25%.
Okay, very interesting indeed.
You understand me?
Even when 5 of your aggrieved governors are meeting in London and taking a final decision, we hear that they may likely go with Obasanjo's man.
And I just told you,
who's in the race. I mean.
Let me tell you, without them joining him, are you with me? As of today, even if they have not declared, what it means is that Peter Obi does not even have any governor supporting him. Yet he has made these inroads. So even if 5 governors leave me, are you with me? I just told you something. I said, when you see a snake, are you with me? It cannot bite you anymore. I don't know if you have it in your
you're being too overconfident.
No, this is not overconfident.
Okay, let's flip it. What if these votes actually go to Tinubu and not Peter Obi? If the 5 governors decide to go with Tinubu and not Peter Obi, what will you be doing?
It will only take a man who is sick. Are you with me? It's only take a man who is sick and mentally deranged to vote for a man who has what I would call dysenteria.
I think you're going personal now because I mean they're on the same level with Atiku Abubakar, who is old and all of that.
It's not about age.
Yeah, I understand, but I mean Atiku himself. I mean there are others who have complained that he's not looking physically fit himself.
I don't know how you mean by physically fit. What is the parameter?
Phrank Shaibu,
you understand?
We must. We have
seen those who have come out and explained to us that they are not well by their action, by their conduct. They can dance while sitting on the chair, but when they get to the mosque, they sit on the chair to pray. Atiku will score. He will do everything.
Well,
Peter too can jog. He can run.
I just hope you're
jog.
also planning for the other side in case, the results don't actually go your way, just the way you're being overconfident.
Let me tell you something.
Very quickly.
The truth is this, before we go. The truth is this. Nigerians know our confidence is in the people of Nigeria. We believe in them. We know that they will do the right thing.
And I just hope you don't underrate some of the presidential candidates, especially like Kwankwaso, the way some of you have been doing, just pushing him aside. I mean, you can see from this day projection, Kano seems to be his oasis in the midst of all
if he wins Kano for his assuming, but not even considering that he's going to win Kano, does that make him president?
Well,
are you with me? In some places I saw that he was scoring 0 and all that. You understand? So how does he?
We must leave it here. Phrank Shaibu is a communication advisor to the Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Council. We must thank you for joining us on the program.
And who is offering free counsel to the APC.
Well, I just hope that doesn't also put you in trouble if he decides to embrace you. What will Atiku be doing?
I'll just be helping him.
Well, we must go on this break right now. Thank you so much, Phrank Shaibu.